one year even the Virat Raja was not knowing that Pandavas are staying with them. So they fulfilled all the conditions, but they should have got the property very legally. But after that also they did not do. Because Duryodhana, especially his father Dhritarashtra, they did not want to give anything to Yudhishthira and his brothers. So now the reasons which has been given, they are also in these three categories. The first reason, 5 reasons have been given. The first reason for not fighting the war, because he's a good person. He cannot see his own people die. That is the reason, first reason. Yes. Nacha shreyo pashyami. Nacha shreyo pashyami. Atva sujanamahave. Atva sujanamahave. Nakamshi vijayam Krishna. Nacharajyam sukhani cha. So person, the mode of goodness, he doesn't like to inflict pains on others. We cannot see somebody's pain. So he says, why should I fight? Nachashreyo pashyami. I don't see anything good. Shreya means I don't see anything good in killing my own people. They are all my people, though they are standing on the opposite side. Ultimately, if you see who are they are my people only. My cousins, my grandfather, my teacher. And in this way he says, I don't have any desire. I don't have any desire for victory. I don't want to be Rajya, I don't want to be Sukha. So in this way, it is not that he is now weak, but he is soft. His nature is very soft. At the same time, he doesn't know how to use the softness. Though he says, I don't want this, I don't want that. Why should I need all these things? Let me go away. He says all these things. But here, very clearly, Srila Prabhupada says, one's self-interest should be in Krishna. Shreyas, when you say, Shreyas means what is good for me, not that what I feel good. What is the word just been told? Nacha shreyon pashyami. I don't see anything good. That is according to his perception. Not that whatever I see may be good or bad. Whatever Shastras say, our eyes should be in parallel to what Shastras say, or our chakshu should be Shastra chakshu. What the Shastras speak about. Shastras speak about the self-interest of Krishna, not self-interest of oneself. First self-interest of Krishna. So without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu, conditioned souls are attracted by body relationship, hoping to be happy in such situations. In such a blind conception of life, they forget even the cause of real happiness. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral codes for a Kshatriya. It is said that 2 kinds of men, namely Kshatriya who dies directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal orders, and the person in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun globe, which is so powerful and dazzling. Arjuna is reluctant even to kill his enemies, let alone his relatives. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen, there would be no happiness in his life. And therefore he is not willing to fight. Just the person who does not feel hunger is not inclined to fight. He has now decided to go into the forest and live a secluded life in his tradition. But as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his subsistence. Because the Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation, but Arjuna has no kingdom. Arjuna's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do. Therefore, he considers himself fit to go into the forest to live a secluded life of frustration. So, Prabhupada has written this 2 times: secluded life of frustration. Why? Because his inborn quality is of a Kshatriya. He has a leadership tendency. So he has his inborn quality, and if this inborn quality is not nurtured, then there will be only frustration. Because even if he wants to give protection, inborn quality of a leader is to give protection. Even if he wants to give protection, he should have some kingdom to give protection. He should have some opulence to give protection. Leader means he should have some wealth. Without having wealth, going on the streets, living on the streets like a beggar cannot happen for a person who has a leadership quality. That is why leaders have to be nurtured. It is the system in the Varnashrama. A Kshatriya means a leader. Leader means who guides the society. So that leader has to have the opulence so that he can give protection to the dependents. So the dependents are the citizens who need a very wonderful religious leader. It should not happen like Duryodhana type of leader, a dharma leader. No. Leader is one who guides the society. Yadida Chakti Shreshta Sattati Arjuna Sayat Pramanam Kurte Lokas. As the leader, so is the subject. So Ravana is also a king. In his kingdom also people were happy. It's not that they were not happy. They were happy. But their happiness was sense gratification. They were not shown the real path of life. Even in Duryodhana's kingdom also people were happy, but they were not shown the real path of religious principles. So if the leader is completely into sense gratification, then the praja is also into the same sense gratification. So the leader falls in the wealth and all the praja also falls, and the citizens also follow him. But if the leader shows a transcendental knowledge, if the leader, this is dharma yuddha. This is not an ordinary yuddha. This is a dharma yuddha. Dharma yuddha means the opulence is on the side of a person who is completely having the religious principles. Krishna wanted Krishna Pandavas to have the kingdom and have the opulence and teach this transcendental knowledge to the whole world. So it is said the parents are the natural leaders, the teacher is the natural leader. So the parents, the mother, the father, they have to guide their dependents. Teachers have to guide their students. So if the teacher is not in the dharma, is not following dharma, then how the teacher will teach dharma in the same way? If the mother and father are not following dharma, and for following dharma, again they should have some opulences with them, like for the children to care them. They should have some wealth. They cannot just be on the streets and care the children. It is impossible. Some wealth should be there, some accumulation, some wealth should be there. So in this way, some property should be there so that the children can be taken care in Krishna consciousness. Dharma refers to taking care in Krishna consciousness. So here, very clearly it has been spoken that Arjuna has actually forgotten the moral codes of Kshatriya. He has forgotten. A Kshatriya means one who has to protect his subjects. He just cannot think about himself. Who has asked about him? I don't see anything good. This I word should not come in the mouth of a leader. Because leader is one who has given his life to his subjects. Like mother and father cannot say, I just want to take rest. Now the child is hungry, then the mother has to cook. The mother cannot say, I am tired. I word is completely ruled out in the life of a leader. The leader should always stand for the dependents. The leader can be anybody. The leader can be teacher, the leader can be mother, father. The leader can be the Kshatriyas, the rulers. For them, this word I does not suit. If that leader says, I am tired, I cannot come, emergency is I have to go, then we have to go. So the leader means who is always ready, who has sacrificed this word I and mine. Then that Kshatriya, that ruler or that leader is actually following dharma, where he has sacrificed these two words, I and mine. So in the first verse, though it seems to be a reason out of compassion, the reason spoken in mode of goodness, but still there is ignorance which is covered. Ignorance means forgetfulness of one's relationship with Krishna. That is why this word I has come. I don't find anything good. So it is goodness, but it is actually covered ignorance. Covered ignorance. Ajnana. Kim no rajyena govinda किं भोगे जीवितेन वा येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगा सुखानि च ताइमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणास्त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्या पितरः पुत्रास् तथैव च पितामहः मातुला श्वशुरा पुत्रा शाला सम्बन्धनिस्तथा एतान्न हन्तुमिच्छामि धृतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराजस्य हेतो किं नो महीकृते निहत्य धात्राष्ट्रान् आकृति स्याज्जनार्दन. So now all these verses 32, 33, 34, 35, all these verses are the second reason of Arjuna for not fighting the war. Enjoyment. With whom am I going to enjoy? Generally, when you have a new sari or a new dress, you like to have a show off. You like to go out as if everybody is seeing it. You like go and sit in the theatre at least, where everything is dark, nobody is going to see, but some satisfaction is there. I have put in a new dress. Or you invite some guest and wear some new dress, or you go to some party and show off. So that means a show off tendency, which is the nature of a passionate person. Passion means show off tendency. So now he says, if everything is destroyed in the war, what happens? Everything is going to be destroyed. Now what is happening? 31st day of war is going on. Everything is destroyed. When everything is destroyed, what is the thing onto whom is he going to show this wealth, show this opulence? Now here Arjuna is saying, what is it? Kim no rajyena Govinda, oh Govinda, why should I have this kingdom? Kim bhoge jeevitena va. What is the use of this life when everything is destroyed? Even having this life, having this kingdom is meaningless. Everybody is destroyed, all are killed, all are killed. Then, yesham arthe kangshitam, what is the use of all this bhoga, aishwarya, sukha? What is the use? Taimeva sthita yuddhe pranastitva dhanani cha. Everybody are standing here for just having the war. In that I can see my acharya, pitraha, putras, Pitama, Matula, Shashura, Potra, Shala, everybody is standing here. But I don't have any desire to. Even if you give me 3 world, even if you give me 3 planetary systems, still I don't have any desire. Even if the Krashtra sun attacks me when I am unarmed, I am willing to take it. So this is the summary of the whole thing. Let us see again one by one verse. How Krishna is addressed in different verses. In the 32nd verse, Krishna is addressed as Govinda. Govinda. Actually, it is Govinda. Go means senses. Inda means to give. We say Govinda. It is not Govinda. It is Govinda. Inda means to give. Oh Krishna, when you are there to give me pleasure, why should I have something which is going to give me pleasure? Or what can give me pleasure? So you can say the kingdom will give you pleasure. But when you are there, that is enough for you. When you are there, that is enough to have pleasure. That means he's always concerned about himself. But Govinda here refers to go means senses. Our senses should be employed to serve Krishna. So it is Krishna's desire that Arjuna should fight. So Arjuna should not think about his own personal desires. He says, but he has forgotten that. It is said Krishna is the object of pleasure. Krishna is the object of pleasure for the cows and the senses. Govinda. That means pleasure. So he is giving pleasure to the senses by employing our senses in his service. So here it is said, oh Krishna, when you are there, You are going to give me all the pleasure. It is vice versa. Our duty is to give pleasure to Krishna. And the pleasure of Krishna for Krishna is Arjuna should take part in the war. Simple. If that is giving pleasure to Krishna, then Arjuna should take part in the war instead of saying, what is my pleasure? My pleasure can be many things. I may have multiple desires, but the real desire should be to fulfill Krishna's desire. So then here he says, oh Govinda, you are there. You should know what should be my desire. My desire is not to fight. So you should know, because you are the master of the senses, you are Rishikeshna, you are Govinda. You should give pleasure to my senses. That is how in a passionate mood, covered by ignorance, he is speaking like this to Krishna. Then he says, all these people have assembled, oh Madhusudana, 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 Madhu, there's a demon named as Madhu. Krishna killed this demon Madhu. So somewhere it is said Madhu was a distant relative of Krishna. So he says, but some places said no, he was not at all a relative of Krishna. There were two demons, Madhu and Kaitav. And these were the demons which came out of the earlobes of Brahma. And that is how Krishna killed them. Because when they appeared, Madhu and Kaitav, when they appeared, they asked for a boon from Brahma. What is a boon? That we want to fight with Krishna. Okay, then fine. We want to get the power to fight with Krishna. We don't want to die in any matter. So Lord appeared. They fought with Lord. Continuous war was going on. They did not want to die in the matter. For them, everything was matter. But they forgot that the lap of Krishna is not matter. Krishna keeps them on both the laps and just presses them. Madhu and Kaitav were killed by Krishna. So he is Madhusudana. So here Arjuna says, you are Madhusudana. You have never experienced killing your own brothers. You have not experienced killing your grandfather, your teacher, and you are asking me to kill my own people. And what is the use of killing my own people even after the war? With whom am I going to enjoy? That is the main concern. To whom am I going to show off? Everything is going to be destroyed. War means blood. War means destruction, killing. Then he says, oh Janardhana. Last word is Janardhana. Even if you give me a 3 planetary system in exchange, even if Dhritarashtra's son, kills me unarmed, I am ready to accept. Even if he attacks me, even I am unarmed, I am ready to accept. Oh Janardhana, why Janardhana? Jana plus Ardhana, Jana plus Ardhana. 2 words are there. Jana plus Ardhana refers to protection. Jana plus Ardhana refers to killing. According to the meaning, people call you Janardhana. That means they expect that you should maintain them. Instead of maintaining them, you are asking me to kill. So better is you kill, at least you will not gain any sins. But if I kill, I am going to get the sins. Again, next verse is going to say. But here Janardhana refers to people are expecting protection from you, but you are asking me to kill people. So anyhow, you are Janardhana also. Ardhana means you are going to kill also. Your name suits your activity. You are advising me to kill my own people. I can see my acharya, my teacher standing, my father standing, my sons standing. They are also standing. Pitamaha, great grandfather standing. My mother's relations all are standing. Shashuraha, my father-in-law is standing. Pautra, the grandchildren are standing. In this way, whole sambandha, all the relatives are standing. So Prabhupada says, Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of all pleasures for cows and the senses. By using this significant word, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses. But Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. Materially, everyone wants to satisfy his senses, and he wants God to be the order supplier for such satisfaction. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve, but not to the extent they may hurt. But when one takes the opposite way, namely, when one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govinda, all desires of the living entity are satisfied. Arjuna's deep affection for community and family members is exhibited here, partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives, but Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield and he will be unable to share his opulence of the victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since a devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulence for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept the fire. Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives, and if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna should kill them personally, Janardana. At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before their coming into the battlefield, and that he was only to become an instrument for Krishna. This fact is disclosed in following chapters. As a natural devotee of the Lord, Arjuna did not like to retaliate against his miscreant cousins and brothers. But it was the Lord's plan that they should all be killed. The devotee of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotee by the miscreants. The Lord can excuse a person on his own accord, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. Therefore, the Lord was determined to kill all the miscreants, although Arjuna wanted to excuse them. So it was the nature of Arjuna, because he is a very kind person, he's soft-hearted person. He wanted to excuse everybody. But Krishna cannot tolerate anyone who does injustice to the devotee. And that is how, even though Arjuna is giving so many excuses, Krishna gives him the transcendental knowledge and makes him fight the war and makes them win also. Now, the third reason which Arjuna gives, first reason was compassion, second reason was enjoyment, third reason is incurring sins. So he is afraid now. He says, if I fight, I will incur sins. I go to hell. Now again, here, passion is. Or what more this is? Passion as well as ignorance. Whenever any reasons are given, it is a covered ignorance only. It may seem to be like a goodness. Wherever we are not following Krishna's instructions, we may speak out of goodness. We may speak out of passion. But that is covered ignorance only. What is an ignorance? Forgetfulness of the relationship to Krishna. There is difference between tamas and ignorance. Nice. Even in goodness, a person can be ignorant. Ignorance means forgetfulness of Krishna. There is mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Okay? This mode of ignorance is different from ignorance, what we are speaking, generalizing the ignorance in everything. One ignorance means forgetfulness of Krishna. It can be in the mode of goodness also. He may speak very nice, very wonderful person. But he is forgetting his relationship with Krishna. So it is a covered ignorance, ajnanta, that is known as ajnanta. There is a lot of difference between ajnanta and tamas. In English, both are called ignorance only. The mode of ignorance is actually tamas. And when you say he is ignorant, that means he is ajnani. Ajnani means not understanding his relationship with Krishna. So now in the third reason he says, sins will be incurred. Let us. पापमेवा शयेदस्मान्. कितना बजे? कितना बजे? नहीं, कितना बजे? पापमेवा शयेदस्मान्. अत्वैतानाततायिनः. अत्वैतानाततायिनः. तस्मानार्हं वयं हन्तुम् धातराष्ट्रान् सबन्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिनः स्याम माधवः पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मात् अद्वैतानादिकारिणः तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुम् धातराष्ट्रान् सबन्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिनः स्याम माधवः सुखिनः स्याम माधवः. Very important. The last line, then there is a shloka means 2 lines. And there is a third line, it summarizes the whole. Now, papameva, let us see word by word. Papameva ashrayeda. I don't want to take the shape of papa. Sins. Why? Because if I slay atakaina means aggressors. If I kill the aggressors, what will happen? I only incur sin. He's not understanding. By killing aggressors, he will not incur sins. In fact, he will be counted in the pious list. Because Atakainaha should be killed. Atakaina means aggressors. The purpose Srila Prabhupada says there are 6 types of aggressors. And Duryodhana fits in everything. He was a poison giver. You know the story? How he gave poison to Bhima? In the childhood itself, he has such way of giving poison. Sets fire in the house, black house. Then he attacks with deadly weapons. In the war, what was happening? Attacking with deadly weapons only. Especially when Abhimanyu is alone, everybody just encircled him and killed him. And plundering others' riches is the gambling match, was a cheating way of plundering the riches. One who acquires another's land, he did that. And then one who kidnaps a wife, he tried to strip naked. He tried to strip Draupadi naked. So in this way, he is actually counted in all these aggressive attitude. They are all aggressors. He is an aggressor. His people are also aggressors. He says, I don't want to kill them. By killing them, I will only get sins. It's not proper to kill the sons of Dhritarashtra and our friends. Na arha, vayam hantu. Why should I kill them? The sons of Dhritarashtra and Bandhavan along with their friends. They are my swajana. Let's see. Arjuna is speaking out of ignorance only. Ignorance is ajnata here. He is forgetting. He's always saying, my people, wherever I and my come, Swajanam, my people, is Adhyanta. Katham Hatva Sukhinaha. How am I going to be happy by killing? Is anybody happy by killing someone? Fighting means you're destroying yourself also. So how can a person expect some happiness? Now whatever he's saying is truth. In war, nobody is happy. Nobody experiences any happiness. There is only bloodshed. There is only the desire to kill. So in this way, there is no happiness experienced by anybody, neither of that party or this party. So how am I going to be experience this happiness? How will we become happy? Oh Krishna, you are Madhava. Now see, Krishna is addressed as Madhava. Madhava means husband of goddess of fortune. Lakshmi, it is the goddess of fortune. So your presence actually should bring fortune. You are asking me to perform sinful activity, and in this way, a person who performs sin will go to hell. What type of fortune you are giving me, Krishna? Your name is Madhava, but you are not giving me any fortune. Instead, you are only bringing misfortune in my life. Arjuna is speaking all these things to Krishna. Krishna is just silently hearing everything. In the first chapter, you will not find Sri Bhagavan Vacha. You will only find Arjuna Vacha, Sanjay Vacha. Sanjay is speaking whatever we see in this. Now, whatever the conversation which is happening between Krishna and Arjuna. Now, Arjuna is speaking all these things. So, 6 types of aggressors. Such aggressors are at once to be killed, and no sin is incurred by killing such killing of aggressors is quite befitting any ordinary man. But Arjuna was not an ordinary person, he was saintly by character. And therefore he wanted to deal with them in saintliness. This kind of saintliness, however, is not for Kshatriya. Although a responsible man in the administration of a state is required to be saintly, he should not be ordinary. For example, Lord Rama was so saintly that people even now are anxious to live in a kingdom of Lord Rama, Ramarajya. But Lord Rama never showed any cowardice. Ravana was an aggressor against Rama because Ravana kidnapped Rama's wife Sita. But Lord Rama gave him sufficient lessons, unparalleled in the history of the world. In Arjuna's case, however, one should consider the special type of aggressors, namely his own grandfather, own teacher, friends, sons, grandsons, etc. Because of them, Arjuna thought that he should not take the severe steps necessary against ordinary aggressors. Besides that, saintly persons are advised to forgive. Such injunctions for saintly persons are more important than any political emergency. Arjuna considered that rather than killing his own kinsmen for political reasons, he should be better to forgive them, or on the grounds of religion and saintly behavior. He did not therefore consider such killing profitable simply for the matter of temporary worldly happiness. After all, kingdoms and pleasures derived therefore are not permanent. So why should he risk his life and eternal salvation by killing his own kinsman? Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Madhav, or husband of goddess of fortune. He is also significant in this connection. He wanted to point out to Krishna that as a husband of goddess of fortune, he should not induce Arjuna to take up a matter which would ultimately bring misfortune. Krishna, however, never brings misfortune to anyone, to say nothing of his devotees. Why should he bring misfortune in people's life? And especially, why should he bring misfortune to the devotees? So when Krishna is asking Arjuna to fight, that means he wants the fortune to be given to everybody. And what is a fortune? Fortune lies in serving Krishna. There is no fortune beyond this. And for that, a leader should be dharma. He should follow dharma. Dharmic Raja cannot guide the person in dharma. So there will be only misfortune even though there will be opulence. So Krishna wanted to replace adharma with dharma. So then there is dharma, there is fortune. So here Madhava actually refers to fortune. But here Arjuna says that you are asking me to kill the aggressors by which I am only going to experience misfortune. It's not misfortune, actually it is fortune only. Then Arjuna says, Yadyapi tena pashyanti yogo pahata chetasaha rakshaya putam dosham Vittadrohe chapatakam Katham nane amasmabhi Apadasmani vartitum Rakshaya putam dosham Pashyat Janardhana. Again Janardhana. In your Janardhana, your word emphasizes that you are either protector or killer of the person, killer of the people. So better you take up this task. At least you will not incur sin. Yadyapyetena pasyanti. I don't see anything. Yadi api. Even if there is a warfare, but I don't see anything good. Lobho pahata chetasah na pashyanti lobho pahata chetasah. These people's heart has been overpowered by greed. They are not seeing the devastation. Kulakshaya kutam dosham. Whole family is going to be killed. Everybody are going to be slayed. I am able to see this. Before the war, he is actually saying these people's heart is overcome by greed to such an extent, they are not seeing the consequences of the war. What is the consequences? Everybody, the whole family is going to be killed. Why should we take part when we are able to see? Why should we see Why we are not seeing? They are not seeing that is understood. Their heart is overcome by greed. But why should we who can see that crime will only destroy a family? Why should we engage in such simple activity? Asmabhi papam asmat. Why should we engage ourselves in such sins? So he is telling to Krishna, oh Janardana, even if you want to kill, you are not going to incur the sin. But I can see the whole destruction. We can all understand the consequences of the war. So let us not have the war. This is what is told by Arjuna. Because there will be only sin, and these sins are not going to lead anywhere. It is going to give only misfortune in the life. Sin means residence of hell. What can be more hellish experience? No water, no food to eat. Just imagine what is the position of Ukraine now. There's no water, there's no food. Even Russia is also experiencing such tragedy. Every tragedy is there in both the places. But still, so much of greed has engulfed their consciousness that they have forgotten the consequences of the war. Now, if you see, it is practically relatable. So when there is a tendency to fight, this tendency to fight will only destroy everything. This consequences is told by Arjuna. Somebody can say, what a wonderful Arjuna is. Why Krishna is inducing him to fight? When Arjuna can see the consequences, everything is going to be destroyed. Even then Krishna is telling fight. Because here Arjuna is only thinking about himself and his family. He is not concerned about establishing dharma. That is why, even though this reason may be out of mode of passion or ignorance or goodness, but it is a covered ignorance. It is covered ignorance. That is covered ajnana. 39th verse onwards, fourth reason. That will do next time. The fourth reason, that is the family destruction. He is going to explain what will happen when the family is destroyed. Everybody will be left as an orphan. And an orphan child is the most uncared child. So when there is an orphan, there is nobody to take care. There will be only growth of Varna Sankara, that is orphan, uncared children. Uncared children means all the Vedic tradition is completely lost. Nobody is there to teach them. Even to give water to the forefathers, Shradha, there is nobody to do that. Even though the children are there, uncared, father, mother, everybody are dead. Who will teach them? Uncared children. So that topic will take. So next Sunday, no class. I am in Jagannath. The next Sunday. Next Sunday, keep it off. Other next Sunday, that is online. All the classes from first to second, fourth. I'll come back on fourth on the classes.
Hare Krishna.